Okay, is it student name? Okay, our customer name, our employee name, okay, our trainer name? We're not understanding clearly here. So this one, left one is data, right one is information. For example, we are writing like this: 567 marks we are writing. Okay, so now left side I'm writing 567. Here what is 567? We don't know. But here what is 567? This is a marks value. So this left one is called data, this right one is called information. So data means those are just raw facts, those are not in meaningful form. So data means those are just raw facts only, those are not in the meaningful form. The collection of raw facts about people or places or things we are calling as the data. Whereas if that data we arrange in the meaningful form, we call that as the information. So this right side one is called information. This is the information. So if the data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes information. If the data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes the information. So if data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes the information here. That's it. So what is data? It is the raw collection of facts about people, places, things. What is information? If data is arranged in meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. What is the difference between data and information? Data is not in meaningful form, whereas information is in meaningful form. Data is unprocessed one, whereas information is the processed one. So if the data is processed, that becomes information. That's it. So I'm writing points regarding data and information. Observe. So data means what? Data is a raw collection of facts. It is a raw collection of facts about people, places, things. About people, places, or things, etc. And this data is unprocessed one. Data is unprocessed one. Unprocessed one means it is not in meaningful form. This data is not in meaningful form. Data is not in meaningful form. Okay. If this data is arranged in meaningful form, we call that as the information. Information means if data is arranged in meaningful form, if data is arranged in meaningful form, then it is called information. If data is arranged in meaningful form, then it is called information. Information is information processed one or unprocessed one? It is processed one, means what? It is in meaningful form. It is in meaningful form. So information will be in meaningful form, whereas data is not in the meaningful form. So with data, we cannot make the decisions because data is not in meaningful form. Whereas with information, we can make the decisions. Okay, so these are the basic terms, data and information. So stop writing and listen. Just whatever I'm typing here, I provide this. Listen, just stop writing and listen. Try to understand here. So Just now we discussed about two terms, data and information. Data means what? Any fact related to the person or place or thing. Okay, student name Ramu is learning Java, he is paying 5,000, data. Okay, employee name Ravi, he is getting 6,000 salary, his designation is manager, clerk, data. Data related to the people. So data related to the places. Okay, this place name is Naresh IT, it has 5 floors. Okay, it has 15 classrooms, each classroom capacity is 100. These are the facts related to the places. Okay, length is 45 feet 6 inches. Okay, breadth is 35.4 inches. So like this, facts related to the places we are calling as the data. Okay, facts related to the things. This is laptop. Which company's laptop? Dell. What is the cost of it? Okay, what is the color of it? These are the facts related to the things. So the facts related to the people or places or things we are calling as the data, but we are calling them as raw facts, means those are not in particular order. Raw means unordered, not in meaningful form. If this data we are arranging in the meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. Here 25 is there. What is 25? We don't know. Here what is 25? Student ID. So the right one is in meaningful form, left one is not in meaningful form. So if that is not in meaningful form, we are calling as data. If that is in meaningful form, we are calling as information. Here Ramu, what is Ramu? We don't know. Here what is Ramu? Student name. Here what is 567? We don't know. Here what is 567? Marks. So if the data is in meaningful form, we call that as the information. Okay, if the data is not in meaningful form, we are calling that as the data. Okay, so because of information is made up of with the data, sometimes for information also we use the term data. Okay, synonymously. Okay, so to understand this, I'm giving two more examples to you. Two examples I'm giving. For example, to manufacture the laptop, what are required? Like keyboard is required. Okay, or computer. Okay, not only laptop, so computer. To manufacture the computer, what are required? Keyboard is required. Okay, motherboard is required. Okay, yes. Okay, in the motherboard again RAM is required. Okay, SMPS is required, hard disk is required. All these are what? These are the raw material which is used to manufacture the computer. Okay, so it is the raw material. To manufacture the computer, we are using this raw material. So keyboard, mouse, monitor, etc. So all these are what? Raw material. For example, just I am giving this keyboard to you. Can you work with the computer? No. For example, I am giving motherboard to you. Can you work with the computer? No. That is raw material. Okay, that is not useful thing now. If this raw material, if we arrange in particular format, that will become the computer. By connecting all these devices, this is becoming one useful thing. That useful thing we are calling as the computer. So observe here. Just a minute. So see, by connecting this raw material in particular format, that is becoming what? That is becoming computer. So from not usable thing to it is becoming usable thing. Raw material is directly not usable thing. If I give motherboard, can you work with the computer? No. If I give only RAM to you, can you work with the computer? No. Okay, if I give only keyboard to you, can you work with the computer? No. This is raw material which we use to manufacture computer. Raw material we cannot use directly. That is directly not usable thing. So from directly not usable thing to it is coming to the usable thing by the process of connecting. Similarly, data is unprocessed one. If you have data, you cannot understand anything, you cannot take the decisions. If this data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes the information. This information is in meaningful form, you can make the decisions now. Okay, just like here, these are all directly not usable things. So from directly not usable stage to usable stage, it is coming by the process of connecting. Similarly, here also data is unprocessed one, directly it is not in meaningful form. If this data is arranged in meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. That's it. Is it clear? Okay, for example, one more example I'm giving. To manufacture the bike, what is the raw material required? Bike engine is required. Okay, bike tires are required. Okay, and other parts are like clutch, brake, etc. Okay, all these are what? All these are directly not usable things. Okay, for example, I am giving bike to you. Can you travel from one place to another? Yes. For example, I am giving engine to you. Can you travel from one place to another? No. I'm giving tire to you. Can you travel from one place to another? No. This is raw material. If we arrange this raw material in particular format, that is becoming what? Bike. From not usable stage to it is coming to usable stage by the process of connecting. So we are arranging them in particular manner, in order. Okay, so this is the raw material, unordered material. Okay, if we are arranging in particular order, that is becoming one product here. The product is what? Bike. So bike is useful thing. Okay, these are all directly not usable things. So from not usable stage to it is coming to the usable stage by the process of connecting. Similarly, data is unprocessed one, that is not in meaningful form. If data is arranged in meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. That's it. Okay, so just like their raw material for the bike engine tires, here these are the raw facts. If these raw facts are arranged in meaningful form, that is becoming what? Information. So data means it is the raw collection of facts about the people or places or things. If this data is arranged in meaningful form, that is information. Data is unprocessed one, information is the processed one. Data is not in meaningful form, whereas information is in the meaningful form. With the data, we cannot make the decisions, whereas with information, we can make the decisions. So this is about data and information. Next, third term is what? Database. So this is very, very important. You have to understand. Listen. So database. To understand the Oracle, you have to understand database, DBMS or DBMS terms. Listen. What is database generally? See. For example, see, listen carefully here. I want to open one. Listen. I want to open one net banking account in the SBI. Okay. For example, assume that I already have SBI account. Okay. That net banking account I want to open. So the official website is online SBI. Okay. So new user registration form. So this is the website, online SBI website. So if you are already user, okay, are you using for personal banking or for corporate banking? Okay, some options are there. So if you want to use your account for personal banking, if you are not registered, if you are the new user, so you have to fill one form. So new user registration, click on next button. Observe here, it is asking some details here. Account number, okay, CIF number, branch code, country, like this, it is asking some details. So what we do here, we enter our details here. Okay, observe carefully here. After entering our details, on which button we will click? Submit button. Okay, so observe here. For example, assume that we are entering data like this. See, I am entering account number as some account number 1234, some CAF number it is asking. Okay, so 9876, some branch code I am giving. Okay, country name I am giving. Okay, some registered mobile number I am giving. Okay, so like this, we are filling this form. Finally, we are entering this captcha and we are clicking on submit button. So here we are entering some data here. Now, where this data will be stored? In my local system or in the server? In the server. In the server, in the database, it will be stored. So in the server, there is, in the database server, there is one table is there, customer table is there. For example, I'm taking, there it will store customer account number, okay, customer CIF number and customer branch code, etc. So here, whatever the data we are entering here, this data stored in the backend, in the server, in the database server, this data stored here. So this backend work will learn in the Oracle. So there is one customer table is there. In the customer table, this data has to be stored. So we learn how to create this table and how can we insert the records into the table. Okay, and how can we delete the records? How can we modify the records? This backend part we learn in the Oracle. That's it. Okay, so like this. For example, one more example I'm taking. Okay, see here. I am opening facebook.com. For example, if we want to create the new Facebook account, what we do? We click on create new account and we fill the form. And when we click on sign up, where these details will be stored? This detail will be stored in the database server in the table. In the table, that data will be stored. Okay, and after creating this account, what you are entering here? Here you are entering your, okay, mail ID, user ID and password you are entering. User ID and password you are entering. So after entering these user details, what happens here? For example, here username is ABCD, some password we are giving. After that, what we are doing? Login we are clicking. Already our user details are available in one table. Assume that the table name is users. First column is username and second column is what? Password. Okay, here usernames are stored in the username column and passwords are stored in the password column. Whatever the username we entered, is it matching with the table's username or not? It will check. Whatever the password we are entering, this password is matching with this password or not, it will check. If both the username and password are matching, then only that will display your home page, your wall page to you. Otherwise, it will not display. Okay, so it is authorized user or not checking, but where this username password data is available? In the backend, in the database server. In the backend server, database server, one user's table is there, their data stored. And whenever you are creating the account, you are filling the form where the data stored? In the database server in particular table. So like this, the table data is useful, database is useful. So database means you can understand like complete details about an organization. Database means you can understand like complete details about an organization. For any organization, database is very, very important. For example, if we take college, what college has to maintain? What college has to maintain? Student details they have to maintain. Okay, their marks details they have to maintain. Okay, their fee details they have to maintain. Their scholarship details they have to maintain. Okay, their sports details they have to maintain, library details they have to maintain, their employee details they have to maintain. These are the complete details about college. This you can call this as one college database. College database. So like that, if you take bank, what bank has to maintain? They have to maintain their customer details, their customer transactions, on which date, at which time, okay, which transaction is performing, is he withdrawing or depositing, okay, or transferring the funds, like that. Okay, so like this, and they have to maintain their products details, like which loans they are offering, home loans, vehicle loans, okay, personal loans, educational loans, gold loans, okay, which products they are offering, what are the that products information, and their employees information, and their branches information, etc. So this is what, now this is the bank database. So any organization, they are working with data, they have to maintain some data. So this is bank database, this is what college database. So like that, for example, we are taking Amazon website. What Amazon website has to maintain? What they have to maintain? Which products they are offering, products details. Okay, and customer is purchasing the products, so they have to maintain the customers details. Okay, customer is placing the orders, their orders details, okay, etc. Okay, so products details, their customer details, orders details, these has to be maintained by the Amazon. Okay, next. So college database, college must maintain college database, bank must maintain bank database, online shopping website must maintain this database. Okay, so like this, for any organization, if you take telecommunication services, okay, like Airtel, Jio, they have to maintain their prepaid customers details, postpaid customers details, okay, and their call transactions, etc. Okay, so you take any organization, for any organization, database is very, very important. Even for our personal purpose also, database is important. In our phone, are we maintaining the contacts or not? Yes, we are maintaining the contacts. Contacts are very important for us. There is one contacts app is there. There you are entering name, mobile number, office number, okay, mail ID. That is what one database, personal database. Okay, so for any organization or for our personal purpose also, database is very, very important. Database means you can understand like complete details about an organization. So in the technical terms, I'm saying this as database is a collection of interrelated data. I'm calling this database is a collection of interrelated data in an organized form. Organized form means it is in meaningful form. In an organized form means what? It is in meaningful form. So database is a collection of interrelated data in an organized form. What it contains, sir? It contains records and fields. What database contains? Database contains records and fields. For example, see here, I'm taking college database here. Try to understand. College database I'm taking. College has to maintain student details. So they are maintaining student details in one table like this. Student ID, student name, okay, student city, like this they are maintaining. Student ID is 1001, okay, some name. So like this data is there. 1002, like this data is there. So they are maintaining marks details in another table. The table name is marks. So in this table, they are maintaining student ID. Okay, marks of subject 1, marks of subject 2, and marks of subject 3. Like this, they are maintaining total marks, average marks, total marks, and average marks. Like this, they are maintaining in the marks table. And for example, 1001 student, he got 60 marks in M1, 70 marks in M2, and 50 marks in M3. Like this, we are maintaining. Here we are maintaining total and average. So in the marks table, we are maintaining marks details. And in the fee table, we are maintaining the fee details, student ID. Okay, so total amount, how much amount he has to pay, paid amount, how much amount he paid, balance, and how much amount he has to pay. So like this, we are maintaining. For example, for 1001, just a minute. See here, for 1001 student, total fee is 20,000. Okay, paid amount is 15,000. Balance is 5,000. So like this, they are maintaining. Observe here. Now you can say this is one database. This is college database. So this is the database. We're calling this as the college database. So what it is having? It is having interrelated data only. Observe here. 1001 student name. 1001 student name. Sorry, 1001 student ID. A student name. HYD. Student city. This is one record. Student details are there. And here the same students marks details are there. And this record belongs to the same person. The same person, A student, M1 marks 60, M2 marks 70, M3 marks 50. The same student, 1001, he out of 20,000, he paid 15,000. Remaining balance is 5,000. So is it not interrelated data here? Yes, this is the interrelated data. So you can say database is the collection of interrelated data. And it is in meaningful form. So I'm calling that as in organized form, means it is in meaningful form. Database always it will be in the meaningful form. And what it is having, sir? It is having records and fields. What is record? A row is called a record. What is a record? This row we are calling as the record. 1002 B Mumbai is there. What is this one? This one we are calling as the this one we are calling as the record. Row is called record. Okay, and column is called field. Here student city is there. The student city is the column. This column we are calling as the field. So what a database contains, sir? Database contains rows and columns. Rows we are calling as the records, and columns we are calling as the fields. So database contains records and fields. That's it. So this is about database. See, once again I'm repeating. Database means you can understand like complete details about an organization. Any organization must maintain the database. Banks must maintain their customer details, their transaction details, etc. College must maintain student details, marks details, etc. Shopping malls must maintain their products details, their offers, daily collection, monthly collection, etc. If you take a hospitals, they must maintain their patients details, inpatients, outpatients, so etc. So you take any organization, that organization must maintain the database. Complete details about an organization we are calling as the database. Just like if we take college, College has to maintain student details, marks details, fee details. Here all interrelated data items are there. So we are calling this as the collection of interrelated data, and it is in meaningful form. So collection of interrelated data in an organized form is calling as the database. And what this database contains are, this database contains records. Row means record, column means field. Database contains records and fields. Terminology is important here. Okay. See here. Next one is DBMS. Now you know three terms: data, information, database. Three terms you know. Next term is what? DBMS. Listen. So what is this DBMS? So DBMS stands for Database Management System, or you can say Database Management Software. You can say Database Management System, or you can say Database Management Software. Listen carefully here. See, to create and maintain the database, one software is required. For example, in your computer, if you want to watch the movies, what you will install? VLC media, any media player. Okay, different companies media players are available, like VLC media player is there, Winamp is there, Power DVD is there, Windows media player is there, Real Player is there. Any media player software we install and we watch the movie. Okay, for example, if you want to create the presentations, which software you use? PowerPoint. Okay, Microsoft PowerPoint you are using. If you want to read PDF files, which software you are using? Okay, Acrobat Reader. Okay, the most famous software is Acrobat Reader. Okay, like that, many softwares are there. Okay, like that, to create the presentations, we are using PowerPoint. To read the PDF files, we are using Acrobat Reader. To watch the movies, we are using media player software. Okay, so like that, to edit the photos, what we are using? Photoshop. So to edit the photos, we are using Photoshop. Like that, if we want to create and maintain the database, we use one software. Just like to edit the photos, we are using one software. To create and maintain the database like this is the database. To create and maintain the database like this, we have to use one software. That software we are calling as the database management software. The name itself is giving the meaning. Observe here, database management software. So DBMS is the software. So DBMS is a software that is used to create and maintain the database. So to create and maintain the database, we are using one software. That software we are calling as the database management software. So what is this RDBMS? You can understand like RDBMS is the part of DBMS. Relational Database Management Software. So this RDBMS is the part of DBMS. Listen carefully here. Once upon a time, to store the data before 1960s, the situation was before 1960s, we were maintaining the data manually in the books. So manually in the books we were maintaining. Okay, nowadays banks are using online system. Once upon a time they were using books only. In the books they were writing manually, they were writing. So before 1960s, what was the situation? We were writing manually in the books. So in the 1960s, because of programming languages were introduced, in the 1950s, COBOL came, Fortran came. First programming language, Fortran, came in 1956. Then second programming language, COBOL, came in 1959. Because of introduction of COBOL, Fortran, file management system came. File management system. In the C language, you are learning files concept. That is what? File management system. So in the files, we store the data. Okay, but if you maintain the data in the files, so many problems we face. So this file management system is one unsuccessful software. And in the 1970s, companies were using database management softwares, like hierarchical database management system was there, network database management system was there. These are all subparts of the DBMS. These are all also unsuccessful softwares. Okay, so once upon a time, before 1960s, what was the situation? In the books, we were maintaining the database. In the 1960s, in the files, we were maintaining the database. In the 1970s, here also files only, but we can establish relationship between the files. Hierarchical network models came. But all these three softwares are unsuccessful softwares. File management system, hierarchical database management system, network database management system. These three are unsuccessful softwares. Some problems were there. Later, listen. In the 1976, RDBMS concept came. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Here we maintain database in the form of tables. So like this, here student is one table, marks is one table, fee is one table. Here we are maintaining this database in the form of tables only. If we maintain database in the form of tables, we call that as the Relational Database Management System. So this is the successful concept introduced by one mathematician, E.F. Codd. So E.F. Codd introduced this RDBMS concept, and in one seminar hall in the 1976, in one seminar hall, E.F. Codd introduced this RDBMS concept. He clearly explained what are the problems with file management system, hierarchical database and network database, and what are the advantages we are getting with RDBMS. Clearly he explained. So because of he is the mathematician, he used the concept here, matrix concept he used. Matrix means what? Matrix means it will be in the form of rows and columns. So that's why here we are maintaining data in the form of rows and columns. This collection of rows and columns we are calling as the table. According to E.F. Codd, table means relation. Relation means what? Table. So that's why we are using the term relational database management software. Relational, relation or relational. Relational means what? Table. So here we maintain database in the form of tables like this. Just now I showed this example. Here we are maintaining database in the form of tables. So to maintain database in the form of tables like this, we have to use one software. That software we are calling as the Relational Database Management Software. But in the 1976, just he introduced the concept only. Software didn't come. Software didn't introduce. Just they introduced this RDBMS concept. So later, in the 1979, Oracle software developed, Oracle software introduced. This is the first relational database management software introduced in the world. So Oracle is the first relational database management software introduced in the world, which is introduced in the 1979. So like this relational database management software scheme, we are learning Oracle. Our Oracle is the relational database management software. In this, we create and maintain the database like this in the form of tables. Okay. So once again, I'm repeating, listen. Just now we discussed that database means complete details about an organization. Any organization must maintain the data. Okay, we are calling that as a database. So to create and maintain the database, one software is required. Just like to watch the movies, one software is required. To edit the photos, one software is required. To create and maintain the database also, one software is required. We are calling that as the database management software. In the database management software, subtypes are there like hierarchical database management software, network database management software, like this, some subtypes are there. Okay, we were using these database management softwares before this Oracle software. So in the 1960s, we were using file management system, and before that, we were maintaining manually in the books. In the 1960s, in the files, we were maintaining the data. Like in the C language files concept, that is file management system. So file management system is unsuccessful software. Hierarchical DBMS and network DBMS software is also unsuccessful softwares. Some drawbacks are there. Some drawbacks are there. To avoid those drawbacks, in the 1976, RDBMS concept introduced by EF Cod. He introduced 12 rules here. Any relational database management software must follow these rules. Otherwise, some problems we may get. Like that, he explained clearly in one seminar hall. So, Oracle company owner Larry Ellison, he impressed with this RDBMS concept, and they developed this Oracle software introduced in the 1979. This is the first relational database management software introduced in the market. So this is the history of RDBMS. So what is RDBMS here? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management Software. Relational Database Management Software. Relational Database Management Software. This software is used to create and maintain the database. This software is used to create and maintain the database in the form of tables. This software is used to create and maintain the database in the form of tables. So here relation means what? Table. According to EF Cod, relation means table. Okay. Now see the terminology I'm introducing. Observe. If we maintain database in the form of tables, like this, student is the table here, marks is the table here. Okay, if you maintain database in the form of tables like this, we are calling that as the relational database management. So to maintain data in the form of tables, we are using this software. What are the examples of RDBMS, sir? Examples are in the market, many relational database managements are there. Like thousands of relational database management softwares are there. Among those, famous one is Oracle. After this, SQL Server. Okay, MySQL. Okay, so like this. IBM companies, DB2. Okay, so like this, PostgreSQL, etc. All these are the examples of relational database management softwares like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, PostgreSQL. All these are relational database management softwares. Listen, This Oracle is the product of Oracle company. SQL Server is the product of Microsoft company. MySQL is the product of Oracle company only. Initially, it was product of Sun Microsystems, but later Sun Microsystems purchased by this Oracle company. So now MySQL is the product of Oracle company only. And DB2 is the product of IBM company. This PostgreSQL is the product of Postgre company. So all products are same, purpose is same. Purpose is same, maintaining database in the form of tables. But companies are different, manufacturers are different. For example, if you take the smartphones, product is same, smartphone. Samsung smartphone, company is different. Okay, Apple smartphone, company is different. Okay, Oppo smartphone, company is different. Product is same, smartphone only. Product is same, manufacturers are different. Similarly, here also, product is same, relational database management software. Product is same, Oracle company's software, SQL Server, Microsoft company's software, again Oracle company's software, IBM company's software, Postgre company's software. Product is same. For example, in the laptops, many companies are there. Many companies are manufacturing laptop, like Dell company, Apple company, HP company. Okay, so Microsoft company. Many companies are manufacturing the laptop. Laptop product is same, manufacturers are different. Similarly, here also product is same, relational database management software, manufacturers are different. So this is about RDBMS. So here I'm introducing some terminology. After this, I stop the session. Listen. I'm taking one customer table here. Customer table I'm taking. In the customer table, generally what we have to maintain? Customer ID, customer name, customer address we maintain. Okay, customer ID is 1001. His name is Ramu and he is from HYD. Okay, 1002. Kiran is from Delhi. Like this, customer details are there. So in this example, what is this customer, sir? Customer is the table. Customer is the table. What is table, sir? Table is the collection of rows and columns. What is table? Table is a collection of rows and columns. Table is a collection of rows and columns. So what table contains? Rows and columns it contains. Here customer is the table here. In this CID is the column. C name is the column. C city is the column. 1001 Ramu HYD is the row. 1002 Kiran Delhi is the row. So table is made up of with rows and columns. Okay. So in this row is called as, row can be also called as, this is the row. This row can be also called as record. Row can be also called as record. This is the row. Or you can also call this as the record. Or you can also call this as the tuple. Or you can also call this as the entity instance. This is the terminology we should know. Whenever you are referring the books or websites, if author is using tuple term means you can understand that row. A record means row. Entity instance means row. And another terminology also I'm introducing. This customer city is what? Is it row or column? Customer city is the column. Okay. This column can be also called as field. So this is the column. So column can be also called as field. Or you can also call this as the property of the table. Fields, or you can say properties, or you can say attributes. Attributes or properties, this is the terminology. So column can be also called as field, or you can say attribute, or you can say property. A row can be also called as row or record or tuple or entity instance. So this is the basic terminology we should know. So we create such kind of tables in our Oracle. Now, in this, what is record, sir? What is field? Field means field holds individual values. Field holds individual values. For example, if the field name is customer ID, it holds only customer IDs. If the field name is customer city, it holds only city names. If you take mobile number, that holds only mobile numbers. Okay, if that is marks column holds only marks values. So column holds individual values like Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune. This. So field holds individual values. Whereas record is a collection of field values. Record is a collection of field values. That's it. So this is the basic terminology we should know. Okay, I'm stopping the session here. So just to give overview on today's session, listen. See, so just today we discussed some basic terms. These 5 terms we discussed. Among these, first term is what? Data. What is data? It is a raw collection of facts about the people or places or things. Okay, so is it in meaningful form? No, it is unprocessed one. It is not in meaningful form. If we arrange this data in meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. This is the processed one. This is in meaningful form. Okay, what is database? Database means you can understand like it is a collection of interrelated data which is in meaningful form. Collection of interrelated data in meaningful form is called database. What it contains? Records and fields. Okay, so if you take college database, here related data items are there. 1001, the same students marks details, the same students fee details, interrelated data items are there. To maintain database like this, we have to use one software. That software we are calling as the DBMS. Okay, just like to edit the photos, we are using Photoshop. To create and maintain the database, we have to use one software. We are calling that as the database management software. So in the database management softwares, many types are there, like a hierarchical network. These are the unsuccessful softwares. Later, they introduced RDBMS, Relational Database Management Software. It is a successful software which is introduced in the 1979. So relational database management software means here we maintain database in the form of tables. So here relation means table. What are the examples of RDBMS? Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, PostgreSQL. We are learning Oracle. Our Oracle is relational database management software. We learn how to create these tables and how to maintain the database. That's it. So our Oracle is the relational database management software. Here we create the tables like this. Customer is the table. Table means collection of rows and columns. So here 1002 Kiran Delhi is called a row. Row can be also called as record or tuple or entity instance. This customer city is a column. Customer name is the column. Customer ID is the column. Column can be also called as field, or we can also call this as the attribute, or we can also call this as the property. This is the basic terminology. Okay. So tomorrow I provide one notes link to you. Temporarily, there I upload the notes. Okay. So just 5 terms we discussed today. In the next session, I cover some more terms, and we discuss what is the purpose of Oracle, what is SQL, what is the purpose of SQL, what is PL SQL. That part we discuss in the next session. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Please, all of you confirm. Did you understand today's session?